Hello, awesome art students. It is your art teacher again, Miss Friels, with another very special week of art class. Now, if you have not watched part 1 of this week's art video, please take some time and do that, because in part 1, I have a chance to read to you a very fabulous book called Frida Kahlo and Her Animalitos. And in this book, we get to learn a little bit more about Frida Kahlo and her story, and the pictures are awesome. And also, we're going to be talking about a very special creature that appears in this story. So please take some time to go ahead and watch part 1 before you watch this part, which is part 2. And if you have already listened to the story, well then, welcome to week 20, Frida Kahlo and sharing stories through art. A very cool little rattle that's handmade from an artist all the way down in the country of Guatemala. Awesome, right? So last week, we had a chance to be introduced to a little bit about the famous Mexican artist Frida Kahlo. And we were able to see some of her beautiful paintings. And we were also able to understand how she was able to express herself through her artwork, how she was able to tell her story and share her feelings and her emotions through her many beautiful paintings. And this week we are going to continue to learn a little bit more about Frida Kahlo, and also sort of review how we can use art to share our own personal stories, and how we can use art to share what kinds of things are important to us. So I am very excited to get started. A really fun little piece that we're going to do together today. So let's just get right into it. Are you ready? Me too. Let's go. Frida Kahlo's real name was Magdalena Carmen Frida Kahlo y Calderón. She was a Mexican artist best known for her self-portraits. Her paintings helped share her feelings, ideas, and stories with all of us. Frida's pets were very important to her. She included them in many pieces of her art. When we create art, we can share what's important to us also. Frida Kahlo had 2 monkeys, a parrot, 3 dogs, 2 turkeys, an eagle, a black cat, and a fawn. Her dogs were a very special breed of dogs called a Xolo Itzcuintli, or Xolo for short. Their names were Señor Xolotl, Señorita Capulina, and Señora Costi. The Xolo dogs, also known as Mexican hairless dogs, are national treasures in Mexico. They are the same breed that ran and hunted with the Aztecs thousands of years ago. They are said to be the first dog of the Americas. They are named after the dog-headed Aztec god Xolotl. Here are our art inspirations for our art project. This is a self-portrait by Frida Kahlo. And these are illustrations from the book by illustrator John Parra. What kind of art could we create based on Frida Kahlo's Xolo dogs? See all our little dogs? Yay! First, let's learn how to draw a Xolo dog. Were you inspired by Frida Kahlo's art? What kind of details could you add? Today, you have a choice of using paper or whiteboard. You can use crayons, colored pencils, or watercolor paints to color in your art. Today, I will be practicing drawing on my whiteboard first, drawing it on paper next, and then using my materials to add colors and more details. All right, let's learn how to draw a Xolo escuincle, otherwise known as a Xolo or a Mexican hairless dog. And for right now on my whiteboard, I'm just going to teach you how to draw the head and the body of the little Xolo. Then I'm going to copy it onto paper and add some colors and some details. Of course, you can use your imagination and add your own details and share what's important to you in your artwork. Okie doke, let's get started. Now, I am going to be showing you how to break this down into simple shapes and step by step. And I'm using a whiteboard, so I'm going to be erasing some lines. If you're using paper and a pencil, please draw very soft, very light, so it'll be easier for you to erase these lines if you want to follow the exact steps as me. So I'm gonna notice my whiteboard is not vertical, it is horizontal. That's because my dog is long and I'm going to draw it kind of large, so it's easier for me to add some details. And I'm gonna start with the head. The head is basically like a circle. Little Xolo dogs have kind of a circular head. Now don't worry, we're gonna add more details. And they have a little, a nose, a snoop, a little snoop. And watch how I'm going to do the snoop. It's going to be like a curved line from the bottom of the head up and then back into the head like that. Remember, you can always stop and rewind if I go too fast for you to understand the steps. And then I'm going to take my magic eraser, my magic finger, and erase that line there. I don't want that line. It just helped me to start with a circle, okay? I'm going to make the eye of my cute little Xolo, and I'm just going to make it easy peasy, a circle inside of a circle, and I can add more details later, right? Oh, it's kind of hard, sorry about that, to see that last line. My whiteboard marker is starting to run out. And I'm going to make a little oval at the end of the snoop. That is the nose. And my Xolo is happy, so a curved line up. And of course, the very cool thing about Xolos, right, about these little Mexican hairless dogs is that they have really big ears. Really big ears. And the ears are like triangles. So I'm going to do one triangle up and curve back down into the head like that. And the second ear is a triangle off to the side, so we can see that other ear behind his head. And I'm going to do a triangle inside that triangle. If you want, you can erase this line. You don't have to, but I'm going to go ahead and erase that line and make just a little bit of fuzz in the ear like that. The body. So first, let's make a neck. Just like when we were drawing our portraits, right, last week, we just do two little lines down for the neck. Now the body is like a long oval, and maybe your Xolo will be a little skinnier or a little fatter. Doesn't matter. Let's just play around. I'm going to draw an oval. I'm just going to practice. I can always erase it, right? If it's too fat or too skinny. Looks good, and I'm going to erase this line. I don't want that line there, so the magic eraser. And I'm going to give it a little tail. Their tails kind of are curved. This Xolo is happy, so his tail is up. I hope that your little doggy is happy also. What is he missing? Oh yeah, he's missing legs. 4 legs, okay? Let's make them easy peasy, and we can add more details later. This is the first leg. 2 straight lines down with a little oval foot. Here is the first back leg, same steps. 2 lines down, little oval foot. And now I'm going to erase those lines because these lines are these legs are the ones that are closest to us. Now we're going to do the other 2 legs that are behind the body. So they're going to kind of sneak around like this. We can start with the 2 lines there and a foot. And let's do another one here and a little foot. This one's kind of bumping into that one. That's okay. It's behind it. Little tiny lines for the toes. And even though that I want to get rid of that line too. Even though this is a hairless dog. They do have a little bit of pokey hairs on their body. If you look at photographs on Google, often they have little spiky hairdos, little tiny pokey hairdos on their heads and a little bit on the ends of their tails. How silly is that? And then when you also look at photographs, if you're interested, they're mostly a gray or kind of a gray and a little bit of brown, and some of them have a little bit of skin spots around them. But just for now, I'm happy with this little doggy. I might even want to erase that line there. I'm happy with this little Xolo. Remember Xolo? I'm happy with this little Xolo. And now I'm going to copy this on a piece of paper and I'm going to add some fun details. This next part's going to go kind of fast. Remember, you can always rewind and press pause at any time. All right, let's go. Okie dokes. How could you color it? Do you have markers? Do you have crayons? Do you have watercolor paints? Could you use a little bit of crayon and watercolor paints? Or a little bit of marker and crayon? How about colored pencils? Here's another example. I used a Sharpie this time to outline and just crayons, and I even mixed some crayons together. Wasn't that so much fun learning about that little interesting dog called the Xolo? I had a lot of fun. I can't wait to make more art with you next week. Please stay safe, and we will see you all again soon. Bye.